Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we are going to learn about navigation and navigating the Blender interface. Also we'll learn about creating objects, how we can move that object, scale that object, rotate that objects, and very useful shortcut keys which we are going to use again and again. So let's create a new general object, and we are going to don't save the last project, and this is our new project. And by default Blender has this cube, this camera, and this light. So these three objects will be created by default in Blender. So we'll select this cube. If you want to move this cube, the shortcut key is G. If we will press this G, we can grab the cube and we can move it like this. Okay, so I will also enable a plugin here, the screencast keys, which I have added for the the keys which I have pressed. When I will press some key here, you will see the key here on the left side. Okay, so it's very useful. Now if we'll select this cube, and if we press G, and if we want to move it to x-axis, we will press X again, and then we will move it to x-axis like this. Okay, if we press G and if we press Y, we can move it to y-axis. If we press G and Z, we can move it to z-axis like this. If we want to rotate this cube, we can press R and we can rotate it to any side. Okay, if we want to rotate it to x-axis only, we can rotate it R, and then we will press X, and then we can rotate it to x-axis only. If we press R, Y, we can rotate it to y-axis. If we press R, Z, we can rotate it to z-axis. Okay, similarly we have a scale option, and the same things you can do from here: move, rotate, scale. Okay, and for the scale option, what we can do, we can press S for scale, and we can scale the object like this. Okay, and if we press SX, then we can scale it to x-axis like this. If we press SY, we can make it scale to y-axis. And if you want to make it scale like this and you want to implement the scale, then you will click actually you will press left click. Okay, so it will be implemented. If we press Ctrl Z, we will undo the action. If we press S, Z for the Z scale, and if we don't want to implement this scale, we will press right click. Okay, so it will move to back to the original position. So it's very important tool. So now you learned that how we can move, how we can rotate, and how we can scale our object. The very important thing is zoom in and zoom out. For zoom in, we can press scroll mouse button. Zoom out, with scroll we can scroll out as well, scroll in as well. Okay, and also we can orbit this section with middle mouse click, and then we can orbit this like this. Okay, middle mouse button, and we can orbit it. We can also press Alt middle mouse, and we can orbit it like this to the some other views, and I will tell you what it is later on. So if we press Alt and not Alt, if we press this one, then we can pan the environment as well. Okay, so for orbiting we can press scroll button click, and we can rotate it with mouse movement. So these are very important shortcuts which we are using again and again in Blender. One more important shortcut is tab key. If we will press tab, we will move into edit mode. Okay, if we press tab again, we will move back to the object mode. So these two modes are very important. In object mode we can move our object, but we can't edit our object from the vertices, or we can't do anything else with the main transformation of the object. If we press tab, now you can see we have nodes here. You can see vertices mode. So if we have selected this vertices, we can select any vertex here. Okay, this is the vertex. This 1 point is actually the vertex. If we select this selection, we can select the edge. So here you can see this is one edge, this is one another edge, this is one another edge. If we select this option, we can click on this and we can select the polygon section. Okay, or we can say this, we can select the face of this cube. Whenever we select a face, for example, let's select this face, we can press G and Z and we can move it like this. Okay, so it's up to you that what you want to do. If we want to make it scale, we can press S and we can scale it as well. So this face is scaled and this face is moved. If we select this edge, then we can press G and we can move this edge now. Okay, if we select this vertex, we can select any vertex and we can press G to move the vertex. We can select multiple vertices as well. So for example, if you want to select every vertex here, we can press A to select everything, or we can actually select everything with this left mouse drag. But what happens in this case, that sometimes if we move back, you can see some vertices are not selected. Here you can see this vertex is not selected. So this problem you can face in Blender sometimes. So if you want to select everything, then you can go to wireframe mode, and then if you will select everything, and now we can go to shaded view again, and now you will see that everything will be selected because we have selected everything in wireframe mode. Okay, so it's very important. So now what else, the shortcut key, yeah, one more very important shortcut key is Z. If we press Z, we can directly go to some views here. Okay, we can go to material view. So if we have any material, we can see the colors and texture, etc. If we press Z, we can go to wireframe mode directly. If we press Z, we can go to solid view. If we press Z, we can go to render view as well. So it's up to you that you can press Z and you can move your you can get your own interface. And some other very important keys are the space key. If you press space, you can find everything here. Okay, and for example, if you want to select symmetry, you don't know the option of symmetry, you just forget it, and then you can just select SYM, and then you will find all objects related to symmetry. So symmetry, what is the spelling of symmetry? Symmetry, I think I just forgot the I just forgot the spelling. So if you will type the exact spelling, it will come there. Okay, so this is space is very important key, and also the important key is Shift A. If you will press Shift A, you will find this option, which is add option, and you can create some objects. So the same option is here as well. In add, you can go here and you can create any object. Okay, and similarly we can press Shift A to bring this window. We can select everything by pressing A. So now you can see we have selected this camera and everything, but it's important to note that we are in object mode. If we are in edit mode, then if we select A, it will select only that object. Okay, and it will not select this and this object. Okay, so it's very important. So now we are again in object mode, and one more what else, is that if we click shift A, you can see we have a lot of, okay, next video we will just learn about the creating objects. So in this video we are just learning the shortcut keys. So more shortcut keys, important shortcut keys is that the numpad keys. So for example, you want to see this object from the front view, you can press 1, okay, numpad 1. This is the front view. If we press 2, it will move towards the another section, okay, so 2. If we press 3, it will show us our object from the side view. If we press 4, we can move it from the side view, okay, like this, frame by frame. If we press 5, it will give us the orthographic aspect, and if we press 6, we can move it again. If we press 7, it will give us the top orthographic, top view, okay. So you can see this is the top view, and if you press 8, you can see we can move it from the top view. If we press 9, you can see this is the simple perspective view. And if we press minus if we press alt 1, minus 1, it will give us the back view, okay. So it give us front orthographic, so control 1, okay, control 1 is for back orthographic, control number 1. So these are very important shortcut keys we will use again and again during our project, during our course, and I think these are the most important keys which we are using again and again. So also some other keys we will definitely learn later on during the course. That's it for this video. In next video we'll move further and we will learn how we can create different objects.